Welcome your host, Caddy Frink, as she leads discussions about substance use disorder and the journey to recovery. You're listening to Redefining Recovery, a recovery revolution.
I always got to wait till we get just past enough of the music, and then I'm like, yeah, we're back. Hey, everybody, this is Caddy Frink from Redefining Recovery, a recovery revolution here at AM 950. We are part of Minnesota Recovery Connection, and I am so delighted to be here. I haven't been it seems like the studio forever, so I get to be here. So, as I said, my name is Caddy. Who is across the desk from me?
Hi.
And your name is, my dear?
Farhia Budul.
Farhia Budul. I always say Farhia. I try to do it the right or the wrong way. I don't know which one it is.
It's okay.
So this is a very fine human that I'm sitting across from. She is a person who is in recovery and has an amazing organization, is an amazing person in the community. But before we get into her magicalness, I need to ask and thank everybody who is out there. Got to get my radio show host boots back on. So actually, I want to say a generous thanks to our funders. Some of them have sunsetted, but we want to say thanks to Patrick and Amy Butler Foundation, the Otto Bremer Trust, Sauer Family Foundation, the Hardenberg Foundation, along with anybody else and everybody else that has contributed to maybe the Walk for Recovery that came and donated their time, maybe the volunteers that certainly volunteered their time and continue to at Minnesota Recovery Connection. And also for those of you who just have a little extra shekel in your pocket, Minnesota Recovery Connection, like many nonprofit organizations, is in a little bit of a space where we could use every ounce of support we can possibly get, because substance use disorder, addiction, it loves everybody. And what we need to do is we need to send the care and the love out to our community. So I will now ask my lovely guest, what is right with you, Farhia?
Oh, Caddy, thank you. Absolutely. What is right with me right now is just a sense of bliss and a gratitude in a world that is very chaotic right now. So,
please pass me on the bliss and the gratitude.
Yes, alhamdulillah. Praise God. I am a very faithful woman, and my faith has brought me to where I am today. So that is what's right with me, just having faith.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you? What is right with you?
Oh, she had to go back to her school days with me. What's right with me? Well, first of all, I'm embarking on a couple of extra days off. So that is, I feel like I have earned that from all of the events of September, which is Recovery Month. So taking a couple days off, going to take a little day trip up to Duluth at some point, just kind of get away, get out. Me and my guy need to spend some time together. So just grateful that I get the opportunity to take some time off, and be grateful, really that I have a community that says, yeah, you do get to take some time off. We all work hard. We all work so hard at what we do. So I'm going to turn the mic over to Farhia. And before we take our first break, which is minutes away, we have time. What is the organization that you started? And then once we come back, I'm going to have Farhia talk a little bit about her story. But tell us about your organization.
Yes. So Niyyah is like knee, but like Niyyah. It's a word. Yeah. Niyyah Recovery Initiative is a recovery community organization that I founded in 2021. And we are culturally responsive to the East African community, doing awareness, education, reducing stigma and shame in our community, just taking the recovery landscape and turning it into seeing people that look like you, wearing a hijab, speaking Somali or Oromo, talking about recovery, that we're in long-term recovery. So we're helping to educate our community about what recovery is. There's that whole AB culture. AB is like a word for shame. So shame.
On you. Yeah. You can't have addiction. That's not what we do, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we're helping to bring awareness to that. So,
wow.
So that's what Niyyah does.
Well, it's so interesting because I've had a lot of individuals coming through my peer recovery specialist training at Minnesota Recovery Connection, and I see this desire to help community And a community that looks like you, sounds like you, is really helpful sometimes to make that first inroad. Because if it's somebody looks like me, who might be from an entirely different culture, I might be intimidating, or you got your stuff together, lady. Well, how do you think you can help me? And I think it's so important when we can have that initial introduction to what recovery looks like, when somebody who says, okay, you kind of get me. And what does that sound like to you when somebody comes up to you and says, oh, you got your stuff together. How did I get my stuff together, lady? What does that sound like to you?
Yeah, that's a pretty good indication. Like, most of the people that we help in our community already know about us. They see us on social media and they watch our videos. And when we come to them face to face, they're like, I already know you. I watch you. And I am really inspired. Thank you so much for what you do. I just don't know if I can do it. And then my job is to help instill the change by just sharing my story with them, showing, some pictures of my old life and what it was like. And they're like, that's you? Really?
Wow. So give them the actual proof of there was a life before this beautiful human that stands in front of them right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I also want to, maybe show you too, Caddy, and maybe you can also do the little bit of comparison. I think sometimes we don't know someone's story until we see them and we see the transformation, and even just to see how far they've come in a week. Just in a week of when you take somebody to detox, and then by the time they come out after 7 days, even their facial,
their color, and their it's like they're awake again in a sense.
Absolutely, yeah. So
I have something to add as she's looking for something. I had that happen today in our office. So one of the individuals that we have in our office had to have an ankle monitor put on. He's recently out of the Department of Justice, Department of Corrections, and just had a little kerfuffle with the people that he has to report to. So they wanted to monitor him a little bit. And so I saw the monitor on his ankle, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember when I had that. Sarah Kemp, you all know Sarah Kemp, my co-host, she's like, I can't even imagine what you were like back then.
Me too.
You had an ankle monitor? I'm like, oh yeah, I had an ankle monitor, and I had to get home at a certain time, and I couldn't do things. And, so you're right. When people see you or hear that, she's like, I just can't believe it. I just can't believe it. You, Caddy, no way.
I know.
But that's the reality. We had this life before that kind of was messy.
Very messy.
Very messy and stuff. Show me what you're going to show me. So nobody, of course, on camera maybe can see this, but we get to have this reaction.
So that's the first time.
Oh, my. Hello.
Look at this.
Oh, wow.
I think this was my rock bottom right here.
It looks a little rock bottomy. Let me just tell you. So the woman that you might see on camera here with this beautiful hijab on, beautiful face, she's doing all kinds of good things humanity-wise. And now she is showing me she's showing me the pictures of when she had some Justice Impact Times. Would that be accurate?
Yes, absolutely.
And, you should see my mugshot, baby.
Oh, my God.
I got hair all over the place. Hi. But it's so important when people see that, right?
I know. They see that and they're like, wow, that's you? Mm-hmm. Wow, they're like, you've come a long way. Yeah. And then that right there puts to instill that belief in them that they too deserve that they too can recover. So I share that with you, and I share that with not everybody, but those that most need it. And, I trust my gut when I need to pull out my phone and show it to this young woman or man.
Wow.
And it does something. And it just, they're more cooperative. And then that also helps to instill the trust too. Oh, my God.
It's that trust. I mean, we've talked about that time and time again. I mean, we got family members, we got people that say what you should do, but then you get some of your friends say, let me just show you a little snapshot of me. And I don't necessarily need to see your snapshot, but guess what? We're kind of on the same page here.
Yeah.
So we're going to come back from break, and Farhia is going to maybe add a little texture to some of those pictures that she just showed me.
I got you.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about just what Niyyah Recovery does, what they're doing for the community. But thank you for listening to Redefine Recovery, Recovery Revolution here on AM 950, the Progressive Radio Station. My name is Caddy Frink, and I'm with Farhia Budul.
Hey.
See, we got this. See, everybody in the chair across from me begins to bounce their head from side to side. Thank you for listening to Redefining Recovery, Recovery Revolution. We are here on AM 950, and I've got, who do I have across the table from me?
Farhia Budul, baby.
Oh, I got a baby out of her. I love it. Okay. The anxiety has drifted away. And that laugh, which I adore all day long, has now come out of the humanity. So you have an organization. You are reaching the East African community and doing it in many different ways. Give the listeners a little bit of history on the pictures that I saw that kind of really kind of grounds us in where we wanted to come from, where we wanted to get out of to become. Give the listeners a little bit of history on it. And I might ask you a question here or there, but it helps people say, I was at my rock bottom. I have some mugshots, but was there a start to that? Was it, being in a new space, in a new place? So give us a little story.
Yeah. So let's take it all the way back to the refugee camp. I come from, I was born in Somalia and came to the United States in 1993.
Okay.
I was about 9 years old. So already there, I've experienced a lot before I was 9. By the time I was already 9 years old, I've experienced war, trauma, and then coming to the United States and not speaking English.
Wow.
And they put you right in the 3rd grade. Like, you're 9? Well, let's see what 9-year-olds are in 3rd grade. So let's put you in 3rd grade. And then you don't speak English. You have to work extra hard. And kids are always mean, you get those kids.
You get those bullies.
Yeah, bullies.
They see somebody different from them, and then they react.
They react. And so, dealing with a lot of that bulliness in school and everything, I think by the time I was 23, when I started drinking, I already was carrying so much. So then you give me liquor, and what do? I start to have fun.
You forget about all your problems. They just melt away from a bottle. Isn't it amazing?
That is the magic. Until it's not so magical anymore.
Oh, then it becomes like a lava.
Oh my God. And the addiction just creeped right in. It started out just having fun.
Okay.
And going to the clubs and just dancing with my friends. And then, I got into a DWI.
Mm-hmm. Been there, sister?
Yep. My first one, who knew you're in the car, but the keys are turned on, and you get a cop pull up behind you and gives you a DUI. I thought DUIs were people that were driving.
Nope. You'd be sitting in your car, and they can happen.
It can happen. So there, I was like, okay. And, my life, because of my alcoholism and later my drug addiction, has hit rock bottom time and time again. And for me, I didn't realize what was happening at the time because in my little head, I'm thinking, this is not how you're going to be forever. This is just a short time. You're just going to do it one more time.
Because I think there's that practicing thing.
Yeah.
We think, I got this, and then we don't got this.
We don't.
And then I got this, and then I don't got this.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just your head says one thing and your actions literally do something else because that addiction comes in.
Yeah.
I need that stuff to make me feel better, even though I know it has repercussions, right?
Yes, absolutely. And then also, I was also a teen mom too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so I carried a lot and not realizing that I was numbing everything that I was carrying. And also, I was doing it in secret.
Yeah.
The secret and my family not knowing where I was going, who I was with, why I wasn't coming home. because I was too hungover, or I slept at a friend's house, missing work, just trying to survive. I was in survival mode, just trying to get through the day, and until it's not no secret anymore.
Well, you stop showing up so much that people really begin to truly worry. And then let me ask a question. Because you endured so much as a young child, you came to a new country, kind of thrown into mode. You had a child as a teen. You're surviving, but you're hiding, and your culture and the people around you don't understand all the pain. Is that accurate? They know the pain, they have it themselves, but acknowledging it, is that another problem that can happen? That can happen in any community, but you kind of have an extra load, is what I know.
Absolutely. There's the acknowledging part is hard, because when you acknowledge something, you're admitting it. So it's like, so that's the part where they are so much in denial. I was also in denial at the time. And later on, and let me go back a little bit. I also used to interpret and translate for my mom, read for her and write for her. And through her doctor's appointments, her therapy appointments, things like that.
Wow.
Because in the early 90s, they had telephone systems that they were call telephone. And my mom didn't trust those people.
Well, she had probably some lived experience that might challenge that. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
And so she would pull me out of school and say, today you're not going to school. And I loved school, because what kid wants to miss recess, right?
And friends.
Right.
Because now you're establishing yourself in friendships, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she would pull me out of school, and I'll have to translate for her. So I then trauma dumping. So I got to learn a lot.
Because you went to medical appointments and things that was going on
with my mom. So then it was like, oh my God, my mom has really been through a lot in her time too. So now she's also trying to learn English by going to adult school. She just can't get it. She has to work. And then I started getting a job, really early, and then helping to pay for her and our bills and all of that stuff. And just wanted some Nike shoes.
You wanted to be a kid. You just wanted some stuff.
I wanted some stuff.
Like all of the other kids had. So you felt like you fit in, right?
Exactly. So the little bit of money I made, my mom made sure that I got it. Like, she took it from me. So in that aspect, I had to grow up very young, really early. So all of these times that my addiction has played that big role in my life, you will really see it, sort of what I have been through as a child and as a teen. You will see it later down, like all of the times that I've been in jail. What happened to me as a kid, my family, the lack of family, and this, instability, and growing up poor, and an immigrant and a refugee, and all of these, the stocks were not like, there's so many odds,
that are stacked against you. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So when I was, before I go into the recovery aspect of it, I want to focus a little bit more on my substance use disorder, because it is a disorder. It really is.
We are disconnected. We do not have the order in our brains, so it's a disorder. Please understand us. I've said it so many times, and thank you for reiterating it.
Yes, it is. We're spiritual beings living in a human condition, okay? And sometimes when I have neglected my higher self through the dis-ease and the disorder, like, stuff is going to hit the fan, and you're not prepared for it. And then at the same time, I'm a woman, I'm a Somali woman, I'm a Muslim woman, and imagine what I could have been going through, going in and out of Ramsey County, violating probation, not getting my needs met in the treatment centers that I was at. Like, they weren't culturally responsive. It wasn't working for me.
No.
I would advocate for myself and say, well, this is, and they would the whole treatment model is all Western society. And I think sometimes we miss, and that's where those gaps are in, that we miss. We have to, it's not a cookie cutter approach. And one size does not fit all. We have to be targeted.
Yep.
And I wasn't getting my needs met. So I just kept relapsing. I even tried AA for, for a while. And the concept of a higher power was one thing I just couldn't sit with for a little bit. Sometimes we have external factors that come into play, and we have these internal factors. It wasn't so much as my internal factors of like my family and my friends and my kids that I had to get sober for in the beginning. It was more as, how can I avoid being in jail? My freedom is at stake.
Because I keep being so uncomfortable in the living space that I'm in. The discomfort, the dis-ease, all of it. Yeah.
And I was
How
also...
do I stay out of jail?
How do I stay out of jail? And then, and all these times I've had people that, saw my potential and my belief in myself. And they're like, just believe in yourself. You're worth of recovery. You're worthy of it. And all the times that I went to go see my probation officer on a hangover, and he can smell it off of, it comes out of your pores,
and
my
gosh, yes.
Were you drinking last night? No, I wasn't. No. Can you just be honest? No, I wasn't. Are you going to violate me if I become honest with you? And, those kind of conversations. And, of course, I did get violated because I had a hard time admitting that I had a problem for many, many years.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. I couldn't.
Because everything is such a deep secret, and there's so much pain behind admitting. It's like the drinking isn't necessarily the problem. It's the pain that's behind it. Because if you say that you have been drinking, that means that there's so much more that's behind it. The trauma, the resistance, the judgment, all those things.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, I have been drinking. Well, why did you drink? Well, do you really want to know? I mean, because then you have to sort of open up this cavern of pain, and it's so much easier. In my lived experience, it's so much easier just to keep just putting something on top of it. Because I don't want to go to feelings because as valid as they are and as painful as they are, I can't cope. Anyway, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hijack you.
No. Those are really great points, and I think that's what makes it more universal and why a lot of people use. We all have a powerful story, and sometimes it's that one thing that led us to it, and then we're like, oh my God, I can't stop. That was my story. Once I drank, I couldn't stop. And it was, it was like my body just needed it. And 3 days I'll be binging, maybe a little bouts of sleep and rest, and then wake up and do it all over again.
Well, it's exactly my story. I would, go out for a couple of days, have a binging effect, and then I kind of come out of it, and then I'm like, okay, who else can I call? Who can I call? Who can I need to go. I need it again because there's an element of I've got to have it in me so I can just live. I can just survive. I can just sort of be who I think is my person. When it really isn't. You've got this mask on that is alcohol.
Yeah, absolutely. And the time that I showed up to work intoxicated, I was asking for help. I didn't know it at the time. And they weren't going to fire me. They just were trying to get me into the help that I needed. And I said, nope, I don't know what y'all talking about.
I got this. What's your problem?
Yeah, what's your problem? And then all the times that I would, use and abuse as a coping way to not drink, as a method to not drink. And
which and abuse is a medicated assisted treatment, so it makes you feel really lousy when you drink, correct?
Yep.
In theory.
If you drink on it, it makes you won't even have the effects. You'll get sick.
Right out of the gate. Okay.
Yep. So, and then the shot in the butt. Had that too. So I've had all of these measurements to try to stop. And somehow, some way, I told myself, oh, it's not working. It's not going to work for me.
You psyched yourself out.
Psyched myself out. If I would have just been patient with the process, I would have had recovery, But I did have recovery because I went to treatment for the first time when in 2009. And when I went to treatment, I had a moment of reality to say to myself, well, you can do this if you just stay sober. Just no matter what, don't drink. No matter what, do not pick up.
It sounds so easy, but you gotta believe that you cannot pick up.
Exactly, that you cannot. And then I started going to meetings, started getting a sponsor, and started dabbling on, some recovery step work, a little bit here and there.
Dip your toe in it.
Yeah, dip your toe in it. Just see what it's like. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna now rediscover the book of the 12 steps and read about it. And I did. And the stories were like, oh my God, they're like my stories.
You mean you're not alone?
No.
There's other people out there like us?
So many of us.
I know.
Yeah. And I think it's the fellowship. What kept going back to it. So I was like the only Somali woman in a basement church.
With a bunch of folks that looked more like me than you.
Yeah, yep. But they embraced me.
That's the one thing that I think we can get when you do keep showing up. People say, you are beautiful in every way, whatever you look like, dress like, where you come from. But if you want something that we all share, that we want to keep, there is that community that can come in, and it is breathtaking when it begins to set in.
Yes, absolutely. And at that time, there was not all these other programs that were helping the East Africans.
Nothing.
Honestly, nothing. I think the closest one was maybe Fairview or maybe another program, but it was nothing that was like visible where you can feel belonging, that whole aspect of belonging. So I did well for a while.
Okay.
I did well for like 6 years actually, and got my life together. But the one thing that I wasn't doing was my faith. I have kind of put that aside and wasn't practicing my foundational principles of who I am as a Muslim woman, what that means to me to be a woman in America, and how do I show up for myself in that way, in the spiritual aspect of it.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So when you were for those 6 years, you had kind of adopted like a whole nother belief system in a sense, right? And it worked for a while until you continued to what I call evolve into your recovery.
Yeah.
And that's when you found that missing link. Is that what it is?
No,
No.
Actually, it was like this and then like this, and then now you're seeing this. So the up and down,
the roller coaster.
But what happened was I showed up who I thought other people wanted
to see. Yes, that's kind of, you showed up in their world.
Their world.
Not your world.
Not my world.
That's
so I dressed like them. I hung out with them. I became part of their world.
Yep.
It worked though for almost 6 years.
Yeah.
I also started working in the field and went to school and became the first licensed alcohol and drug counselor in 2012. And was doing the darn thing. But as professionals, as you know, self-care is so important.
Such a thing.
It is. You have to take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, you're not good to take care of anybody else. And I stopped going to meetings. I stopped going to see my therapist. I stopped taking the antabuse. I stopped doing that.
Because you were in the field. It was keeping you alive. Just had a conversation today about that.
And also, I have been relieved of probation. Like I had been free off from probation.
You were off paper, as they say.
Yes, I was off paper. So I was like, okay, I don't need this no more.
I'm good to go.
But I was still showing up. But at the same time, this is where sometimes, like when we say the disorder and the substance use disorder, the dis-ease, has been in remission.
Yep.
Okay? And it comes back, it creeps back into your life, and it starts to tell you, well, guess what? You're in 6 years, girl. You good?
You got this.
Yeah, you got this. What you can call so and so and hang out with them for a little bit. You get to start, like, that stinking thinking started to come back. And I didn't go to meetings, so I couldn't talk to anybody about it. At that time, I wasn't praying. I didn't have a relationship with God. I believed in God, and God showed up for me whenever I needed him. He was always there. But I didn't have that realization that we spoke about earlier, that realization that something has just been always preventing me from going deep. So I had a relapse.
Darn tootin'
I
things.
lost everything. Everything. I almost lost who I was as well, like my sense of self. And I hit rock bottom again, and I picked up more charges.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
And when they say you pick up from where you left off, that's exactly what happened.
In every way, you picked up where you left off.
Everything. And I lost myself. And what happened was I went back to Ramsey County Jail. I'm back. And the embarrassment and the shame of being a professional and now relapsing was like they can never know.
Yeah. Hide.
Secrets started coming back. And the whole 9. And I stayed in that for another 5 years.
Did you really? 5 years?
Yeah.
Still using,
Yep.
but everything was just like
chaotic
and lost everything, like you said.
I dropped off the earth, like from the recovery field. Everybody was like, "Where's Farhia?" My daughter actually hacked into my email because I didn't come home for a few days and emailed the Tom Turner emails, like
total community. Where is she?
Where's my mother? And I got so mad at her for doing that. But I'm so grateful to her that she did that because then they knew that I wasn't in a safe place.
Right.
And so that's what happened. And I just stayed under the radar for 5 years because I didn't want people to see me. And my life was literally going downward spiral in every aspect, physically, emotionally, financially, everything. My relationships were, like, I was in despair and hopelessness.
You were broken.
I was so broken. And then in 2018, something magical happened to me in 2018. So I was released from jail. And when I was released from jail, I moved out of the state.
Oh.
And I thought I will find sobriety somewhere else and leave Minnesota. And I went to Arizona.
And that was a turning point.
That was a turning point for me.
It's interesting. Sometimes people do that geographical thing and they think it's going to solve everything, but it sounds like we're on pins and needles now, folks.
Yeah.
She's in Arizona.
I'm in Arizona.
And we're going to take a break really soon. So she went to Arizona, and then before we have to take our break, how long were you in Arizona?
I was in Arizona for 3 years.
And was that where you rediscovered what recovery was, or you found, what did you find?
Yeah, part of me was rediscovered. But it doesn't matter where you go in the world, you always meet people that are just like you, that are still using. It's like, where did I find y'all? Like,
the magnet was there, deep seated inside you.
Yes. And then it was 2020. And then spiritual awakening happened.
Ooh, and that is where we'll hold right now. She had a spiritual awakening. And I've heard a little bit about this, but I'm just getting so many more details.
Yeah.
It's so exciting. So interesting when we hear somebody's recovery story because there's so many nuances, but then all of a sudden that light goes off. So we're going to take a break. And when we come back, the lightning rod is going to come through these microphones, and we're going to hear about this big event that took place. But thank you for listening to Redefining Recovery, a Recovery Revolution, here with Farhia Budul. She is the founder and RCO leader of Niyyah Recovery. So just wait, folks. We've got more to come. Thank you for listening. Catch you in a couple minutes.
The hair on his face is dirty, dreadlocked in.
Well, we're on the edge of our seats. Here we are, Redefining Recovery, Recovery Revolution. My name is Caddy Frink. I'm the host, and we are on AM 950. We are sponsored by many great people, but Minnesota Recovery Connection is in the back of the whole machine here. And in front of me is who?
Farhia Budul.
Farhia Budul. And we have just stepped into Arizona, and we have met our magnetic people, but something happened. What happened next?
Something happened to me, and I think this is where we define the spiritual awakening. I've always heard of it, but I've never experienced it before.
Okay.
And everybody's spiritual awakening is different. Mine was so profound. And I just remember it like it was yesterday.
Wow.
I had a relapse in Arizona, and I was up for about 3 days. And I told myself, I said, I cannot die like this. This is how my life is going. So as I walked outside and I was smoking a cigarette, it was the sun. The Arizona sun is hot. But you don't realize sometimes how hot it is when you have been awakened by the sun. And in my culture, in my deen, the sun is the light.
Okay.
And I was in so much darkness.
Oh, wow.
So God has shined the sun onto me. And Caddy, it's so magical, Caddy. Like sometimes when I explain this to people are like, is she crazy? But I'm like, seriously, like the sun was literally right here.
Yeah.
And it woke my human spirit up.
Wow. Amazing.
It is so amazing. I woke up for the first time. Wow. And you think that when you have I have woken up and I have realized, and I was like, oh my God, how did I let my life get so bad?
Well, you're caught in your addiction.
It was the addiction.
And the disease.
And you don't realize it at the moment when you're in it. If I promise you, if so many people were telling me, like, what's wrong with you? Oh my God. Like, and I was like, I don't know what's wrong with you guys. Like, I'm fine. Like, my life is fine. Like,
it's a hot mess, but it's fine.
It's fine. Like, mind your own business.
Yeah. Stay out of mine, please.
Yeah. And so that's how also, like, culturally, our families, one of our values is like we're so our family values. We're a community of unity, and we all like eat together, and we come home together, and we talk and all that. And one thing the addiction had taken away from me is the fact that like it made me into this person that I didn't want to deal with anybody that was like trying to tell me what to do.
Just really solitary, except for with your magnetic humans.
Yeah. I mean, those people, because those were my people. They get me.
They got it. Yeah. They got the stuff I want.
Right. Well, actually, sometimes I got what they wanted. So this, like, what happened to me, I mean, honestly, like, it woke my human spirit up. And I prayed for the first time in like 20 years.
Wow.
And on my knees and like just crying and just asking God for help. And God has come through for me. And I went back to where it all started, my mother's house.
There you go. Coming back, Mom.
Yes, I came back to my mom. I left Arizona and came back to my mom, and my mom was so grateful that I was able to come back. And she just didn't know who this new person is, because now all of a sudden I was telling her all the things. I'm like, why you didn't tell me that I was this and that? And she goes, I tried. You just weren't listening. And then now I was praying, and I was asking God for help and reconnecting myself to my higher power and God, and also just like I've neglected my higher self. So now I have to fix me and allow God to fix me. And that's what I did. I submitted myself. And what I did was I was like looking around and seeing how many people in my community were overdosing.
Yeah.
The newspapers, family members, funerals here, funerals there, and they're all dying of overdosing on fentanyl, and like opioids have come into my community at the time.
Yep.
So I'm reading and I'm studying, and I'm like, I don't really want to go back to the recovery field. Oh my God.
Feels dangerous, I'd imagine.
It
almost.
feels dangerous. And then it also feels like I'm still a little bit embarrassed because I left in a really bad note, you know? But then one day I got very courageous and I made a phone call. And Caddy, you remember the phone call?
I do. Y'all, I remember this phone call. We talked on the phone for, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's like it just came flooding back to me. It was such an amazing phone call.
So now you're knowing what happened prior to all of that. All that phone call and everything. And I made the phone call, and I had to start from the bottom, from the basics, to get back in and to learn and to develop new relationships and to tell people, like, I was a counselor before, but, this is what happened to me. And you know what y'all did, though? Y'all welcomed me back with open arms.
No judgment.
Exactly. And that's what I was fearing, was the judgment. And the embarrassment and like all of that, the stigma. I was stigmatizing my own self.
Oh, yeah. We are excellent at it.
Really? Yeah. Super excellent.
No, I remember. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That phone call, you just brought it back to me, because that's where it all began. Began for me, but it was the day that began for you as well.
It began for me too, as, and we never want to shut the door on our past. Because we remember our past, but we're grateful for how far we have come. And I remember when I came back to the peer recovery education classes, and then also just understanding, like, I'm a hijabi, and now I'm not like a regular hijabi, I'm a big hijabi, I'm like a homie, and I'm talking about recovery, and people are like, who is she,
How can she say she was that, but she looks like this? Because that doesn't match.
Exactly.
Yes.
It doesn't. And then also, it's also like a sin to like not do drugs and alcohol, so we are already like stigmatized. And like the idea, all those times that I was avoiding God, it was because I truly thought that God hated me.
I was like,
I'm doing the most things that I'm not allowed to do, but I forgot that God is merciful and He's compassionate and He's all seeing and He's all hearing, and He created all of us with this great fashion that sometimes we have to believe in our heart
that we can come back.
We can come back.
It's funny what I thought of when you said that, and then it's like, yeah, you kind of effed up there, girl, but I still got you.
Right.
But you don't know I got you because you don't got you.
Right.
You've just given up, and I've just, gone. You've just gone.
Yeah.
And now you came back. Yeah. Well, we're going to wrap up in a couple of minutes. That phone call, I needed to have that jogged in my memory. I remember that day. Like it was kind of like yesterday now.
I know. And I was, how can I get involved? I'm Somali. This is, really like my community is dying. I want to do work. I want to help. And you gave me a way to come back. You opened the door for me to come back. And you probably don't even realize it.
Well, I'm remembering now, and it's, we've both grown so much over the last many years, and so many things have happened, good, bad, and otherwise. But it's just, what it comes down to is believing in someone,
Yep.
helping them believe in themselves, but no judgment and no trying. I didn't try to fix you. Nobody needs to fix you, because you can fix yourself.
Right.
But we have to believe that we can do it.
Do it.
So just, you got like 10 seconds. How do people connect with Niyyah Recovery?
I'm sorry, we didn't even really get into Niyyah Recovery.
I know.
But the amazing work and the amazing people and the volunteers. I just want to say thank you so much to all of you. I thought we had another 10 minutes, but we don't. But connect with us. Info at niyyahrecovery.org. Follow us on Facebook, Niyyah Recovery, and also TikTok, and also Instagram. More will be revealed.
And you know what? This is not the first time you're going to be on.
Okay.
And it's not the last time. I mean, it is the first time, but it won't be the last time. That's what I meant to say.
Yep.
Niyyah, my love, my Farhia.
Yes.
She is fabulous. We are holding each other's hands.
We are.
We're done. Thank you for listening to Redefining
my-
Recovery Revolution. Thank you.